Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome. It is Tuesday. That means, one more day into the week, into this craziness. Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm so glad to be here with you today. I'm glad you're here with me, but I'm really grateful that I'm here with you today. Of course, we've been talking a lot about Charlie Kirk. We've been talking a lot about grief this week and technology and how that's infiltrating our normal process of living. What was normal, quote, normal way of grieving in the past has kind of been forced out because we have technology now, and it's altering things. And the weird thing about, the whole thing is weird. Let's just face the whole thing is freaking weird. But the weird thing I find is that we feel it, we're experiencing it, but nobody's really talking about it. And so that's why I'm really glad to be here with you today, because I'm going to talk about some things that have been on my mind. And given the recent things that have transpired, I just feel like now's the time to even dig in more, because it's evident to me that living in a virtual reality is going to be incredibly damaging to us as we are being forced into this kind of virtual way of life even more and more. The key to restoring some common sense and sensibility is having this foundation and continually to drive people to the foundation, right? Don't allow things to just go on anymore out of the sake of, I don't want to have the hard conversation. I don't want to upset the apple cart. No, this is way too serious of a situation now to continue to let people live in their delusion. And that is what it is. It's delusional. And so we can't just tiptoe. And Gen X, I'm really talking to you. In my opinion, you're the most equipped to do this job, because it's our nature. It's our nature to just be like, I don't know. I don't think so. We were raised in independence. We understand the younger people still, and we understand how and why they've arrived at where they've arrived. But yet this is a little bit like parenting here. And it's our generation that needs to step up to parent this younger generation properly, so that the whole human race doesn't go extinct, quite honestly. I hate to be dramatic, but really and truly, it's a big agenda going on, and it's time for radical parenting. People really need it. So I want to talk about censorship for today's kind of daily topic to open the show. Then we're going to talk about Fauci. He's, Rand Paul's on it, wanting to bring him back into for questioning and whatnot. Of course, Fauci's destroyed a lot of records. I want to play you this clip from this Dr. Jake Scott, who, I need to calm down, because I tell you, there's just so much injustice going on right now. It's crazy. But this Jake Scott, who testified, in the committee hearings before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, where, a lot of my attention was going on these committee hearings, because I know it's building up to this huge announcement that we're supposed to get any day. And I hope it hasn't been derailed by the things that have transpired in the last week. Anyway, I'll just let you see the clip of this because it's crazy. I can't even believe he admits this. It's like they live on a different planet. Anyway. And then Kash Patel was under some scrutiny today and questioning in a committee hearing. And let me just tell you, this is like, we got to get back to reality. We have to. And then, of course, I have your health topic. We're going to talk about sugar addiction today. Very important conversation. Many people don't even realize, I think, that they're addicted to sugar. And then, of course, we have a naturally inspired moment. But before we get started on all that, I just want to share with you a snippet of my day because I think it's so important that we connect to nature. So have a look at this. Have a look at these little babies. So lots of things going on at 1890 Homestead right now. We are hosting this dynamic duo here. This is obviously a Scottish Highlander with her calf. It's a baby bull, actually. And he's so blonde. He's so blonde and so cute. And I've probably taken 1,000 pictures of these little visitors that we have here. Of course, Mama is visiting to, get knocked up. Our McGregor, which is our huge bull. He's a big, beautiful bull. He is, he's staying the night with this heifer. Staying a few nights with this heifer so that she can have another baby. And then their owners will be coming to pick up and take them away. But I tell you, I've taken about 1,000 pictures of these beautiful cows. And I'm just so grateful that I get to connect to nature every day. And I want to share that with you and encourage you to connect to nature. It is that will tether us to common sense and hopefully guide people back to common sense. Because you feel it when you're connected to nature, you really feel it. You feel like, okay, this is going to be okay. And this is what's real. Yesterday I talked about the technology piece when it comes to grieving and how I was noticing that I was kind of stuck in this, like, can't believe that happened kind of phase of grief, it's like denial. I can't believe this happened. And so, I go and I do some reading and trying to think, I wonder why I keep feeling that way. Cause I've never really felt that way before, especially with somebody, who I didn't know who passed away. And I realized that the reason was this kind of digital proof of life, right? There's constant digital proof of life, these very relevant things that Charlie Kirk is saying all over social media because, his existence is still very much alive in the virtual world. So that really, it makes it complicated when we're trying to grieve, when we're constantly revisiting his image, his voice, anybody's image, anybody's voice that you're grieving. It can be hard to let the natural process of grief just unfold. But I think awareness is key because since I've kind of recognized that, hey, that's what it is, then I've been able to kind of move through that and be like, oh my gosh, this is what's happened. And of course, now we have the ripple effects happening. If you haven't been following Candace Owens, I tell you, I knew that was coming. And man, she's got the fire of the Holy Spirit in her eyes right now. And I hope she's being guided the right way for her. I don't know what to make out of a lot of things that are said these days, but I do see that in her. I've seen that look before. I've seen that when someone is so convicted to get to the truth, to defend, to make sure that the person that they love is protected. I've seen it in my own eyes. And so you don't miss it when you see it in other people. You don't miss it when you yourself have had that conviction to defend, to protect the vulnerable. And that's what I think is happening with Candace right now. So say a prayer for Candace. I think she could use it, and I think we could all use it as we watch this thing unfold. And by the way, I got nothing but love for Candace. And I actually feel a little sorry for the people if they have truly done something wrong, which seems quite possible. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. Let's get into it when you come back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Welcome back. I just want to remind you, we are on all the platforms. I mean, we're on X, we're on Instagram, we're on, Jason's on Facebook, Naturally Inspired's on Facebook. We're on all the podcast platforms. So you can find us on Apple, iHeartRadio, all of them. So if you would, I would love it if you would follow us on those platforms. And if you know somebody who is struggling with their health and maybe, they're at a point where, gosh, they just think nothing's going to work. They've gotten to this point where they just think, I have to do this. My doctor said I don't want to. I don't even want to go here anymore. I don't even want to do this anymore. But they just feel like there's no other way. I'm here to tell you there's probably a way. In fact, there is a way. And so share Naturally Inspired with them, because you just never know how it will impact somebody's life. We're impacting lives all over the country. And somebody may just need to hear that. You may be the lifeline for them. So share the show with them, share it on Twitter, share it on Rumble, comment, do whatever you like, send it to a text message through a friend. We'd be so grateful to you for doing that, because we are trying to change the culture of health in the country. We want to bring hope to people. We want them to understand that health is a personal responsibility and that they're capable. They're actually more capable. So it's a positive message to share. So thank you for sharing it. I know many of you do. All right, let's get into censorship. I'm going to get heated on this because I tell you, there's just a lot going on right now. And I just feel like, are we really going to, like, are we going to allow this? Okay. So Pam Bondi, I don't really have any feelings about Pam Bondi. I'm telling you, I don't dive into politics like most people do, because I don't think that's the answer. I think the answer is you and me. I think our actions are the answers. So I don't focus on a lot of it. But this really struck me. And I just want to say, let's just talk about this. This is Pam Bondi. Take a listen, please.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people, so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
Stop. Does she not sound like Lori Lightfoot there? You remember she's a Democrat. I think she's in Chicago, right? We will find you. We will hunt you down. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I understand the emotions are high, and rightfully so. I mean, this has been another mass traumatic event that has been, pressed upon the American people. So I get it. I get being upset. I get that. But here's the thing, and let me be very clear about this. There is no hate speech. There is no hate speech. Okay? There's speech you don't like. There's speech that's repugnant. There's speech that's gross. There's speech that, there's all kinds of emotions that come from words. But there cannot be hate speech. Because when there is hate speech, you're asking somebody else to define it. You're asking, please, this is hate speech to me. This is hate speech to you. Hey, that's not hate speech. It's hate speech over here. No, that's not. Yes, no. You're asking someone to define it. And you really don't have to do that. When you put labels on things like speech, well, then they're left up to subjective. They're subjective, right? And then you got to bring in government to regulate what's hate speech, what isn't. Nobody agrees on it. It's ridiculous. Guess what happens when something's gross? Well, let me back up a little bit here. This is why I'm saying that we need a foundation, a culture that most Americans live by because they're American. So we're American. This is kind of our culture. We believe in free speech. We believe in the kind of the wild, wild west because we're always trying things. We believe in entrepreneurship. We believe in innovation. We believe in freedom. This is what makes us a country. When the majority of people kind of abide by a certain way of life, that's a culture. You need culture in a country. Otherwise, what is it? Right? We have no flag. We have no anthem. We have nothing. Like we have no tenets, if you will, of how we're going to live here on this particular place on the map. You can live however you want over there on your particular place on the map. Have at it. Hey, you want to come over and live here? Then you're going to live like our culture, because you don't have to come here. And I mean, everybody has their own little, family culture. They have religious freedom here. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. But, the main group of people that collectively make up the country need to practice the country's culture. That's the thing. Otherwise, what's to differentiate America from Iran, right? We get a lot of Muslims here. Oh my gosh. Now all of a sudden, we have America that's based in Sharia law because we've given up our culture. That's what's happening in the UK. And so it's time to get serious about protecting your culture. I'm here to tell you, you have a right to your culture. You have a right to live in the country that reflects your culture. Absolutely, you do. You're not doing yourself any favors by, when you're upset, adopting the left's way of policing people. It's kind of like the free market, When the government gets involved in free market, guess what happens? It gets all screwed up. And that's what we see with our farmers these days. The government got involved. Hey, we'll subsidize you. Great. Perfect. Screws up the whole free marketplace. And it's the same thing here. Let the free flow of ideas go. Let it sort itself out, because what is gross, if you have a healthy culture in your country, what is gross, what is revolting, what is repugnant, it won't get any attention. Because people will recognize it for such. Oh, that's gross. Yeah, I'm not going to partake in that. I don't think that way. Like, you cannot police people's ideas. You can't police their words. But guess what? The culture can. You're going to find yourself very isolated, right? If you have repugnant ideas, you're going to find yourself very isolated by your culture, or the culture that you're choosing to live in, because nobody likes it. And so, that's kind of the thing. Like, growing up as a Gen Xer on the playground, if somebody was socially just not cool, didn't really fit in, it wasn't so much about being mean to that person, but it was get it together. Oh, you got it together? Okay. Come on. You can play with us now. But if you're going to be weird and you're going to make everybody else feel like we have to adapt to your weirdness, that's not going to happen. We're going to be role models for you. You want to fit in? Do what we're doing here. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think we need more of it. Because there is a level of weirdness. We can acknowledge it. It's okay. Stay tuned. I'll tell you more about what I mean when we come back. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. Stay tuned.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty. They're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them, and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Greska C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code TAMMY at checkout for a special discount.
Welcome back. I want to invite you to visit naturallyinspiredstore.com because here's what Bethany had to say. She said, after 3 weeks on the cellular reset, I have noticed my mid-afternoon slump was gone. I have steady energy all day and my brain feels sharper, like I'm thinking faster without the fog. Yeah, that's what happens, I think. You know, when you make some lifestyle changes, you go to a really protein-based diet, you know, you start eating whole foods, you flood the body with polyphenols like the cellular reset, and the cloud lifts, you know, the fog lifts. So get yours today. The cellular reset is a fantastic tool. You can get it today at the naturallyinspiredstore.com. Just click on cellular reset, become part of the Naturally Inspired community by becoming a customer, and then you can join us tonight on our weekly wellness workshop where we're going to be talking about the pollutants actually inside your home, the quality of air inside your home and how it may be impacting your health. It's going to be a good one tonight. Tonight's weekly wellness workshop is for all active customers in the Naturally Inspired community. So become an active customer. There's so many benefits to it. naturallyinspiredstore.com. Okay, you want me to explain this a little bit more? Because I feel like I might be getting some pushback here. And I'm going to say this, which will probably get a lot of pushback too. But at this point, I could care less. You know what I mean? I really don't care because I'm living it. I lived it. I've seen how it's transformed. Like when social bad behavior goes unchecked, it just breeds more social bad behavior. You know what I mean? Like we're all supposed to stand down and act like you're weirdness is totally okay. There's a natural course of behavior that used to happen when I was a kid on the school grounds, right? I mean, I think one of the worst things that we have done is invent the bully bench. I said it. Oh, I'm a bully. I'm bullied. I'm just going to go sit on the bully bench, and some, bleeding heart will come and pretend to be my friend because I'm labeling myself as being bullied. And that's what happens. They don't really like you. They're liking you because you're sitting on the bully bench, and they've been programmed, conditioned to reach out to you because, you get Tic Tacs or something, or cookies or whatever for reaching out to a bullied person. But it doesn't change the behavior that was, causing the bullying. I know it's harsh. I know, and I'm sure people are going to explode right now. Oh my gosh, how can you say that? The kids, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? Because we have technology now. And so the problem is nobody parents their kid when it comes to technology, and they're plugged into technology way too much. And so that becomes like a terrible way to be bullied because it's nonstop. And there's no empathy there because, again, the line between reality and virtual is blurred, and they dehumanize other people because of that technology. So we have to be parents here. We have to teach our kids, not to reaffirm weird behavior, awkward behavior, be empathetic, but also be good role models for their peers as well. This used to just happen. Everything, the natural way of groups and getting along, it used to just happen. But now, because we have this alternate universe, the portal and technology, and we're looking at things way too much, and we have way too much input and all the rest of it, and it's social contagion. We have all these weird variables now. We have to synthesize what used to happen naturally. Let me show you what happens when we don't. Let me show you what happens when we don't. Okay? This is a man who thinks he's a woman who has killed his parents. Take a listen to this.
A Washington City woman accused of killing her parents is back in the headlines, this time appealing directly to the Utah Supreme Court. 29-year-old Mia Bailey is facing 10 felony charges, including 2 counts of aggravated murder and 1 count of attempted aggravated murder after the shocking deaths of her parents, Joseph and Gail Bailey. Authorities say Bailey also attempted to shoot her brother that same night. She was arrested the next day and has remained in jail ever since, held without bail. Bailey, a transgender woman who legally changed her name and gender in 2023, now finds herself at the center of a legal twist. In late June, Bailey submitted a written request to the judge, appealing to the state's decision not to seek the death penalty. The Utah Supreme Court acknowledged the receipt of the appeal on July 30th, but so far there has been no public response beyond that letter.
Ms. Bailey, there are some things that recently you had submitted something to the court that ultimately was submitted to the higher court. And
Yes.
that has been, and there's some questions as far as just what has been said in there.
In Thursday's court hearing, Bailey's mental competency was discussed, a potential factor on how this high-profile case may unfold.
Your Honor, I set the appeal because it was a contingency plan.
This is someone's behavior that has been affirmed for them. The parents, they must have allowed this type of transition for their son. There was no, society affirmed it because you have to. You have to, otherwise it's hate speech. But in reality, this boy is a boy. He has a penis. He's born a boy. And society has reaffirmed his confusion, and it's not turned out well at all, has it? It's not turned out well at all. In fact, typically, it doesn't. We have research that tells us that many people who transition in this fashion end up ending their lives in suicide. It doesn't help the depression. It doesn't even necessarily help the, new term of gender dysphoria. So how do we really help these people? I think we have to start asking the tough questions, like, why is this an issue? What are the contributing components, the variables that are contributing to this? Social contagion is absolutely a real thing. Social media, social contagion. I think that the lack of nurturing, the lack of attention, the lack of a cohesive family life contributes to it. There's this kind of need to fill a gap. Not getting the love and attention that I need from my family unit. There's a gap. I need to fill this gap with attention and admiration from society, from strangers. I mean, there's lots of theories here, but we got to look at them. We got to actually contemplate what's causing the problems here. And one of the ways I think we start getting back on track and back to common sense is we protect our language like everything depends on it, because it does. This reporter in this clip is cosplaying along with it. She, her, no, I'm sorry. This is not a woman. This is not a woman. This is a man. This is a man. And I don't know how we back out of this. We've now got regulations where people can legally change their gender, legally change their name, into I guess the name doesn't really matter, but legally changing your gender and whatnot. Like, this is reaffirming mental illness. So we have to protect our language. And this is not the way, Pam Bondi. It's not the way. There is no such thing as hate speech. Nothing. Correct everybody that says that. There is not hate speech. There's speech you don't like. No doubt about it. Very important time we're in right now. We have to reclaim common sense. We need this foundation of common sense. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredраdio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Welcome back. Did you know that you can book a free 30-minute assessment with me? I got good news from Sarah today. Since she has started working in the Naturally Inspired community, we did an assessment. She got connected to some tools and also got connected to the community. And she's already lost 5 pounds. And she was struggling before, she was trying to eat what she thought was a healthy diet, but it turns out it wasn't working for her. And so she did an assessment with me. She got started, and now she's down 5 pounds and looking forward to tonight's, weekly wellness workshop. So it really works. A little support, a little direction, but ultimately the power's in your hands. And I think that's what's so unique about Naturally Inspired is that you work independently. You get the information and you put it to use in your own life, and that's different than, say, like the allopathic model that has gotten us to a very diseased culture in America. Here, take this pill. Here, do this. Right? No. You're capable. And most people realize that when they start working in the Naturally Inspired community. So book an assessment with me. Just go to naturallyinspiredstore.com. We'll spend some time together, go through some things, figure out what might be keeping you from achieving your optimum health. And it's a pleasant experience. I really enjoy connecting with you guys. And I know many people are getting a really great benefit from being a part of the community. So congratulations to Sarah. I love hearing your stories. If you have one, text me 720-303-8868. I love to read these on the show. I want to transfer into our Naturally Inspired moment, but before I say that, I just want to explain a little bit about, I was thinking about something on the break, because I'm saying, and I can already see that I've gotten something on my text line about the bully bench and how dare you say, bullying works or whatever. Of course there's extreme, types of bullying, and I think it's gotten more extreme with technology. But I'll tell you, honesty goes a long way. And if you really want to help somebody, you need to be honest with them. Like your behavior is not, people are not receptive to your behavior. And so maybe think about making some changes to your behavior, and maybe you'll have more friends. I mean, why keep up a facade and act like, and not only that, but they'll find their own group. I'm just a firm believer in that. Like, I don't lie to my kids about stuff they're good at if they're not. And it never occurred to me, you know, that I was watching other people's other parenting styles, and they'd be like, oh, you're fantastic. You're great at this. You're great at that. No. You know what? How are you supposed to know who you are if you're great at everything? No, I don't lie to my kids about that stuff. I'm like, hey, you know, my daughter cannot catch a ball. And so she's just not very good at that kind of stuff, you know? But man, can she dance. And she's really connects to music. And she's got a lot of strengths. Gosh, she's got so many strengths. I don't need to lie to her and tell her she's good at baseball, because she ain't. You know what I'm saying? And now she knows, like, hey, well, guess what? She doesn't even like baseball. You know, so why would I waste my time? Why do I waste her time trying to develop her in areas when she's got strengths? I don't understand this mentality. We're not helping people by affirming stuff that's weird or that's wrong or that needs attention and a little honesty. You're not going to help somebody get healthy by lying to them. And everyone wants a breakthrough. And for today's Naturally Inspired Moment, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your pathway to a breakthrough. It requires honesty. We all want a breakthrough, whether it's in our health, our mindset, or our daily habits. But a lot of the time we get caught up in loops, thinking loops. And the same old behavior, you know, keeps us stuck. A breakthrough, it's not a magical thing. It's actually a series of habits, a series of intentional steps that you can take to get through to the other side of where you want to be. So number one is awareness of the loop itself. A little honesty, right? A little honesty. You can't change what you don't see or acknowledge. So notice the situations, the emotions, or the thoughts that trigger your repeating behaviors. Write them down. And when you see the pattern clearly, you've already taken the first step towards changing it. You don't need to start with strategy either. Like, there's so much information, you know, like you can get health information everywhere. And that's one of the major things people tell me when I meet with them. It's like, I read all this stuff. I don't know what to do. It just feels so overwhelming. Yeah, don't worry about the strategy. Worry about why you aren't taking action, right? What patterns are keeping you doing the same thing? Number two, shift the thought before the action. So every behavior begins with a thought. Ask yourself, what was I thinking before I made that same choice that I've made over and over again? Because that creates a pause where you can redirect and choose a different action. And replace, when you have that thought, when you can narrow down what that thought was, like say it's, I don't know, I'm just going to say this, like maybe you're trying to quit smoking, right? And you have a thought every time you go and have a cigarette. What is that thought? Isolate it. Oh, I'm thinking this. I'm thinking I'm stressed. I'm thinking I need a break. Whatever it is, isolate the thought, okay? Once you've isolated the thought, attach it to a feeling. And if you're disappointed in yourself about not quitting smoking, if you know that smoking is making you sick, if you have ever felt terrible after having a smoke, visit that feeling. Tie it to that thought. Every time you have that triggering thought of, oh, I really deserve a break, boom, bring in that feeling of yuck. My mouth feels terrible after I smoke, or, you know, I feel like what are you feeling in your body? Tie it to that thought, because that will break the pattern of the loop that you were on when you go unconscious, making bad decisions for your health when you know they're bad. You're doing them on autopilot. You have to disrupt the autopilot. Number 3, replace, don't just remove. So trying to quit a behavior cold often leads to relapse. Instead, replace the old action with something constructive. So if stress eating is your loop, replace it with a walk, replace it with a stretch, replace it with a glass of cellular reset, replace it with a glass of something that's healthy. When you add things in, you don't feel like you're living in deprivation. You're just pushing out the bad behaviors by default because now all of a sudden there's no room. You're not going to have a glass of cellular reset and a Pepsi. Do you see what I'm saying? Number 4, small wins build momentum. Breakthroughs don't happen usually overnight. They're the result of small, consistent victories over time. So when you commit to one manageable change each day, each small win rewires your brain, because that is the health. Getting healthier is a transformation. It's not about sucking it up and clinging to a program for 6 weeks. No, it's a commitment, and it happens slowly over time, and it happens with each small decision. So the small win, it actually rewires your brain and proves to you that transformation is possible. Every time you make a different decision, you are transforming into the person that you need to be in order to keep those health results. Number 5, and this is a big one, anchor yourself in vision. When resistance shows up, return to your bigger vision. Everybody has to have a compelling future. I talk about this all the time, but I'm telling you, if you don't have a reason for why you're doing things, if you're not motivated, if you're not inspired to live differently, to get those results, you're not excited about it, it's much harder to stay on an optimum health journey when you don't have a reason to do it. And so you have to have a vision for the future. You have to have a vision that inspires you. So you got to create that vision in your mind, and you have to be able to pull it up. Wake up in the morning, I don't feel like getting up to go walk. Boom, you go to your vision. What's your vision? More active, more time with people you love, taking trips, going places, creating things. Whatever it is, you've got to be able to retrieve it on command. A breakthrough isn't something outside of you, it's already within you. Stay tuned, everybody. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Nearly 40% of Americans struggle with a $400 emergency expense. An extra $300 a month can be the difference between stability and financial stress.
Are you feeling the pinch of rising expenses? Imagine what an extra $300, $500, or even $1,000 a month can do for you. Introducing a simple 3-step system designed to help you create a steady income without the overwhelm. Step 1, follow our easy-to-use plan. Step 2, take small, consistent actions. Step 3, stay motivated with weekly coaching designed to keep you on track and moving forward. Whether you're saving for a family vacation, paying down debt, or just looking for breathing room, this system is for you. You don't need special skills, just the desire to make change. Join a growing community of success stories today. Visit simpleincome.info or text 720-764-7448.
Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome back. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. This is the second hour, and I want to welcome you if you're just joining us for the second hour. In the first hour, we've been talking a lot about, well, getting back to some common sense here, stepping up and kind of reclaiming what we need to acknowledge and what we need as a foundation of values and lifestyle in order to create the culture that we want in our country, which is American culture. This is America, where we should have American culture. And so we have to start to be honest with people. We have to say no. There's no such thing as hate speech. Like all these invented words that have just come off the charts in the last decade or so, hate speech and, pronouns and enough, because this fake world that is being created, it's getting people killed. It's getting people put in jail. It's the downfall of our society. We need to be honest, brutally honest with people. And it's not even brutal, It's not even brutal at this point. It's just like it's being perceived as brutal because we've gotten so ridiculous in what we will accept. It just reminds me, you teach people how to treat you with what you tolerate. And I'm not talking about violence here. I'm talking about, politely correcting. Like, what are your pronouns? Are you going to go along to get along with that? Are you going to say, I don't do that? I'm a woman, and it's pretty clear to most people who have eyeballs that I'm a woman. Come on. Let's not get it confused, right? That's where we need to go. Because there's just been far too much attention on this virtual, weird, fake world. And now we're getting real consequences from the fake world. And it's pretty hard to deal with the real consequences, if we continue to support this virtual world. The truth is, there is no such thing as hate speech. There is only speech that people like and people don't like, right? And maybe speech that people are neutral on, like facts. This cup is white cup. I don't have a lot of emotion around that, and that's okay. We got to bring it back. That's how we course correct here. So we've been talking a lot about that, but I do want to get to the news now because there's some great health stories that you need to know about. There's going to be so much talk, moving forward about Charlie Kirk, and rightfully so, and, speech and all that stuff it's already like, of course, it's kind of like capturing all of the media that we look at right now still. And we have some important stuff. Not that that's not important. It is important. But we have some other very important things happening that we must pay attention to. Rand Paul, for instance. Check out this clip of what he had to say about Anthony Fauci on Fox News recently. Here it is.
Yeah, we tried for 4 years to get records from the Biden administration. They resisted us. Finally, the Trump administration came in and Secretary Kennedy, and they've given us a lot of information now. And what we've discovered is that Anthony Fauci was destroying federal records and was encouraging other people to destroy federal records. That is a crime. He testified to the House a year ago and said he wasn't doing that. That's a crime to perjure himself. And so we will bring him back. I've asked him to come and testify this fall. If he doesn't come voluntarily, we will subpoena him. The question is he immune because of the pardon?
I knew this would take forever. And the pressing thing was, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, when I was, just like hammering this information every day, getting censored all over the place. I knew this was going to take forever to get to this point, and we're still not there. We're just like having discussions about it, this Fauci guy. The thing is, we don't have forever, because these decisions can't be unmade. The fact that, there's still COVID vaccines on the market, the fact that, most people still don't know that there are alternatives to what their, allopathic model doctor suggests that they do or presses them to do. We don't have forever. This is going to take forever, and we don't have forever, because once you start, you can't uninject yourself. And so that's why I say we cannot wait for government. We cannot wait for the politics. We can't wait for it. You have to dive into the information yourself. It's the only way. Be a critical thinker. Work within a community, right? Try to figure out, okay, what's my next steps here? Because that's truly how we're going to change. And we don't have the time. Can you imagine? Are there people out there today? That just kind of blows my mind. Are there people out there today that are just well, they haven't taken the COVID shot off the market, so why would it be out there if it wasn't good for me? There must be, because somebody was just telling me the other day that on their Facebook page, they saw somebody ask, where can I go get a free COVID shot? My mind explodes. Wow. Where are you living if you're still injecting yourself with that stuff? It just kind of wow. I have a lot of empathy for that, but you must really be in a captured bubble. And to wait for the government to say, you know what? These shots aren't so good. We're taking them off. Oh, geez. Now I can't go get my COVID shot. Well, it's okay, because now the government says I don't need it. What's happening in your brain? What is happening? Not a lot, I would assume. I would have to assume not a lot is happening there, because you're maybe controlled by this portal that you stare into every day. And that is what's doing your thinking for you. You've given your consciousness completely over to the portal. 9 vaccines. What are we on? 9 boosters now? You think you need 9 vaccines? 9? Come on. Right? So I say it's a cult, because you kind of have to be under the spell. You have to have your consciousness captured by it for it to make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. There's no sense to be made out of that. Will we get justice? I don't know. Anthony Fauci destroyed records. This is probably going to drag out for years. I think the best justice we can get is by getting better results in our health ourselves. Right? Understanding how to curate optimum health in our body as individuals and acting on it. And these recommendations that get made by government entities or whatever, they don't mean a whole lot anymore, do they? In fact, I think the government has lost, I think we're at an all-time high of mistrust for the government. I think even the most compliant people at this point got to be questioning some of the stuff they do and say. And why? I sure hope so. I sure hope so. There's a very basic way to start on your optimum health journey. Cut out processed foods. They are doing you no favors. Eat food that, resembles its whole form. The closer you can get to the earth when it comes to your food, the better off you're going to be. Your body's having trouble identifying these food-like substances. And it's leading you into massive amounts of inflammation. It's leading you into what I call congestion in the body, which then leads to dis-ease. So if you can clean up all of the things that you're putting in your body, just that alone, huge game changer. Huge. Where would I be if I just cleaned up my diet. I guarantee way better off if you're experiencing dis-ease in the body right now. Stay tuned, everybody. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. I'm so glad you're here. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturalinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturalinspiredradio.com.
If you like CBD, I've got one for you that's incredible. It's from Prosper Wellness, jointrestore1.com. Go to jointrestore1.com. Use promo code Tammy. These are CBD gummies with boswellia. This combination, I don't use CBD very often, but when I have used CBD, I use the Joint Restore, and it's incredible because it has that combination in it. Usually, I don't have a need, for pain relief. I'm very, thank you, Jesus. Like, I don't have a need for pain relief. But when I've overtrained, I have muscle stiffness or what have you, and I need something because I have an acute thing going on, I have used the Joint Restore, and it's incredible. It works fantastic, and it doesn't make you feel groggy or anything like that. So if you're in the market for CBD and you like gummies, definitely want to check out jointrestore1.com. Use promo code Tammy, and that'll help get you a little discount. Something I think everybody should have in their house is CBD, as needed type of thing. So you don't have to reach for those over-the-counter things that destroy your gut. make you lose your hair. And, don't get me started. Anyway, this next story I want to talk about is from it's a clip of Dr. Jake Scott. So this was part of the hearings, which I kind of, we got all distracted. But there were some incredible hearings going on about health, and Bobby Kennedy and, Aaron Siri was present. And this was last week. And this one, I think we missed that I wanted to cover. And this is, we had on one side, we had Aaron Siri, who's a litigator, a lawyer. And, we had Toby Rogers,
Yeah, we
PhD.
tried for 4 years to get records from the Biden administration. They resisted us.
We had Toby Rogers, which is also like a PhD who has been on the side of exposing vaccine injuries and whatnot for many years. And on the other side, they had this guy. You guys. Who's this guy? Check this guy out. Listen to this.
Early on, yes, there were a lot of deaths. I lost over 100 patients. Okay,
from COVID or with COVID?
From COVID. COVID was terrible.
Did you say you lost 100 then? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to.
I lost dozens of patients,
Yeah.
Probably over 100. I lost track, to be honest. It was awful. Okay. I lost many nursing home folks who live nearby, and multiple a day sometimes.
But what was the protocol did you use? Did you use remdesivir? Were you using monoclonal antibodies? Did you ever try ivermectin or budesonide or some of the other generic drugs that were recommended?
So I was going based on the best available evidence. My role was actually to focus on the best available evidence for therapeutics. So I helped develop the guidelines. And so, we used, remdesivir if patients met eligibility. We used dexamethasone, which clearly shows or had been shown to be life-saving.
By the way, I had Pierre Corey, I think in May of 2020, he talked about corticosteroids. He was vilified and savaged in the media till a couple months later they actually had a study come out of England that dexamethasone worked, which is corticosteroid. Now, generally underdosed when they gave it, but regardless, continue.
Yeah, so we used a number of things. Did I ever use ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine? I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say here. Sadness. This man was responsible for, he lost track, but probably over 100 deaths in his practice. Gosh, it just really irks me because I feel like hesitant to even name the physicians that I know who were treating people and didn't lose anybody. Like, think about that. This is the United States of America, and I am hesitant to tell you that there were physicians treating people successfully all over the place. In fact, I'll just say this. I don't give medical advice, right? I didn't treat anybody during COVID, but I'll tell you, if you had listened to Naturally Inspired during COVID, I bet you your chances of dying were way less than if you were being treated by this guy. This guy, who was responsible for, I guess, putting together the protocol for people. I'll tell you, Dr. Mary Bowden, she's very public about how many people she treated. She did use ivermectin. I don't think she lost anybody on her watch. In fact, she very publicly recounts how she had somebody who was his oxygen levels were really low. She was very concerned, but that man did not want to go to the hospital. And so she treated him in her clinic. He didn't die. This is what you get when you go with the status quo today in America with your medical treatment. This is the kind of competence you get. Follow the rules, right? Follow the rules. I say this all the time, but medicine is called the medical arts. And early on during COVID, I think it was Dr. Scott Jensen I was interviewing when he said, this should be a constant triage of information coming in. Doctors being able to try off-label things. They're, in real time, within, reasonable medical common sense, you try different things. There is no, quote, cure at the time. So, we're going to try this, we're going to try that, and then constantly reporting back in one database, like a triage database, so that any, acting physician could log on and say, wow, we're starting to see a pattern here. You want to use AI? Why weren't we using AI for that? Let's see a pattern here of, we gave him this much, budesonide. We gave him this much steroid. Okay, we gave them, ivermectin. We gave him HCQ. And then we would have had a pattern very quickly for what was working and what wasn't. But information is dangerous to something like the megacorp. It's very dangerous because you can't provide your solution under emergency use authorization if there is treatment available. And that's precisely what happened during COVID. And like I said, it's going to take a long time to, I don't know if we'll ever get any justice because, this country, it operates like a corporation. It's a business. And so negotiations are made and things are done, I think sometimes it's with good intention to try to get the best possible outcome for the country as a whole, especially economically. But if you're waiting for justice, I don't know if you're ever going to see it in the form of a law, in a courtroom or what have you. You know how you can get justice? Take your power back. Stop giving out your agency to this broken system. Claim your power back. You're going to have to do some research. You're going to have to understand how to curate health in your body. Fortunately, there are communities like Naturally Inspired that do it, help people connect to the real literature, help people connect to the research. They get, support, which is, really needed. It's hard because you feel like, I don't know if I'm qualified for this. That's the point. That's the point. They don't want you to feel qualified in your making decisions for your own body, because that's how this model continues to operate. It continues to operate because people's fear, they don't trust in their own capability of being able to decipher information. They don't trust themselves anymore. But that's one of the variables that keeps this model going. And so when I hear Bobby Kennedy talk a lot of times, he says, you shouldn't be coming to me. I don't want to tell you what stroller to buy. I don't want to tell you what decision to make about your health. I don't want to tell you that. We're here to give you facts. You have to take personal responsibility. And it's almost like it's been going on so long, the conditioning, the beat down, the you're stupid, you're not qualified, you're not a doctor, you didn't, It's been going on so long that we feel inadequate. We have to regain and claim our confidence in ourselves and our innate ability to lead health in our own lives. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty. They're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Greska C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code TAMMY at checkout for a special discount.
Greska's C60, a wonderful way to daily detox. We are bombarded with toxins every single day, and C60 is a pure, powerful carbon molecule that helps remove those toxins, supports healthy cells. You can order it at c60.com or call 720-600-6040. Talk to Bob and Sam and let them know that Tammy sent you. If you use promo code Tammy, that's TAMMY, you'll get a special discount. We love our friends at Greska's C60, the purest carbon 60 on the market, being black. A lot of other carbons, they're purple or, they're colored, and your carbon should be black. So you can order yours today. Greska's C60 at c60.com or 720-600-6040. Again, don't forget to use promo code TAMMY for extra special savings. Oh, this next story cracked me up. It cracked me up because, again, it's just a hallmark of how far away we have gotten from reality. You've seen it. You've seen it online, no doubt, right? You've seen, especially in the UK, you see a couple of women trying to hold down a perpetrator. They get a smack and the whole thing's over, right? I mean, I'm sorry, but this is reality. This is reality, okay? And I believe in reality. So Kash Patel's been grilled here. And let's just listen to the clip because I've got a lot to say about it. This is Kash Patel on the requirements for being an FBI agent. Here it is.
On to my, you've been asked some questions about changes to your hiring standard, and including college degrees and possibly the age. But One question I had is that you are now requiring applicants to be able to do a certain kind of pull-ups, which a lot of women cannot because of physiological differences. Are you requiring these kinds of pull-ups?
We are requiring a physical program at BFTC at Quantico because FBI agents carrying guns in the field have to chase down bad guys and do really hard work. The physical fitness standards of those agents
So
are
are you requiring these
assessed.
kinds of pull-ups?
We are requiring everybody to pass the 1811 standards at BFTC. If you want to chase down a bad guy and put him in handcuffs, you better be able to do a pull-up.
The reason I ask is that there are concerns about whether or not being able to do these kinds of harsh pull-ups is really required of FBI agents.
Doing
Anyway,
one pull-up
Mr.
is not
Patel,
harsh,
I
and there are
am
always
deeply
medical
concerned.
exemptions to that.
I can't even, it's just like, again, I don't know. You're living in some wacky world of virtual reality where, your virtue of wanting to, support women and we've got to, do all this and women are just as capable and blah, blah. No. We're capable differently. And that's reality. Watching a woman get punched in the face by a man, by a perpetrator or whatever, she ain't getting up. And that's just a hard fact, Thank God I don't have to be a man. I thank God for that. I don't want those jobs. I don't want those jobs because that feels outside of my comfort zone, I wouldn't want to be in a boxing match with a male for my job. I just wouldn't. And so you gotta have a physical requirement for a job like this. I mean, what are we trying to project here? I've seen, especially over COVID, we saw the military with Biden and, they were showcasing all the freak shows, with all the freakiness. And it's like, what are you trying to do here? Are you trying to signal to our enemies, our adversaries that we're weak and weird? Because well done. You did it. I mean, Russia's not signaling that they have a bunch of weak, unfit, physically unfit people that are in control of law and order. Probably a reason for that. Most armies like to portray strength and physical fitness and, maybe scare the bad guys a little bit. I think we should go further than just being able to do one pull-up. I think these law enforcement should be trained in mixed martial arts. You should have to know how to submit somebody without really doing any harm to them. I mean, there's a lot of things that we could do. But fighting for the right to be unfit in a law enforcement agency, that's that virtual reality thing again. Like there won't be a consequence to that. Like you could be physically unfit and there won't be a consequence when your very job is dealing with criminals and probably having to chase them at some point in some scenarios, maybe not all, but you get what I'm getting at here, right? If you're going to be in the field of law enforcement, then one of the criteria is being physically fit. It needs to be. If somebody had seen the shooter and, wasn't physically fit, they were, say, 100 pounds, 200 pounds, overweight, which is not that odd in today's world in America. Unfortunately, obesity skyrocketed, and that's what we are left with now. Many people are 100 pounds. That's actually, I heard that today, that the biggest growing group of obesity in our country is being 100 pounds overweight or more. So it's not that 5-10 pounds you've been trying to lose. That's not who's getting that's not who is, losing touch with health anymore. It's people 100 pounds or more overweight. That's the fastest growing group of obesity in our country right now. So, and I mean, Kennedy came out and told us a lot of things, how 76% of Americans carry a chronic illness right now. 76%. Less than 30% of our youth can qualify to even make it into the military. They can't do it. They're not physically fit enough to do it. And instead of increasing the population's health, pouring into people and starting a national campaign on the road to recovery from epidemic of disease in the country, no, we're going to lower the standard and tell people you don't have to be physically fit. In fact, hey, those people who are furries and they want to be cats or dogs or whatever it is, yeah, you know what? Sign them up for the FBI. Because you can be a cat and also be an FBI agent. Like there's no consequence to that one. This is why I'm saying we need to return to reality. And there is no such thing as hate speech, like calling somebody out and saying, you're not a cat. You're a human. And you should be acting like a human. And this dressing up as a cat thing, that's ridiculous. Imaginative play when you're a toddler, when you're a small child. Okay, yeah, have fun. But you are not a cat as an adult. And you can't function. You're not part of the core group here that keeps things running. The core group that keeps American culture on track. You know what that is? That is straight people, families, people who work jobs, work hard, try to build a legacy for their family. That's what holds this whole thing together. It's the truth. That's what holds this whole thing together. Without the core foundation of American culture, which is families, working hard, doing the right things, this whole thing floats away into some bizarro land where everything is fake. And I shudder to think what that even looks like. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with your health topic. Sugar, what you need to know and why you feel like you're addicted.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
I get asked all the time, where do you buy your beef? Because everyone knows how into regenerative farming I am and whatnot. Of course, we have a few cows here at our homestead, but we don't butcher them. We sell them off, and we do stud services here. We have stud service here. Which I showed you at the top of the show. So that's the kind of things that we do here on our farm with our cows. But we do eat Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef because they are a regenerative farm. Their beef is fantastic. If you're looking for a producer that is ethical and practices regenerative, pumpkincreekranchco.com, pumpkincreekranchco.com. You can use promo code Tammy to get a little bit of savings there as well. They're a supporter of Naturally Inspired. So plug in and support a fantastic family farm. Also, I wanted to tell you about Mark Squibb. He has developed and innovated a system called LiveO2, liveO2.com. Just some wonderful stories on there, especially if you're dealing with cognitive issues or brain health. You're going to want to check it out. That's liveO2.com, or you can call Mark at 970-658-2789. I want to get to our health topic today. I'm talking about sugar. So important. Sugar is everywhere. It hides in places. And I think people don't even realize that they're addicted to it. But what I find is when I get to talking to people, they're shocked, first of all, with how much protein they should be eating. And then their second shock is that they've been eating so much sugar that they didn't really interpret as sugar. So 7 reasons why people get addicted to sugar, and also how to break free is our health topic today. So sugar does a bit of a brain chemistry hijack, if you will, because sugar triggers a dopamine release in the brain's reward center, similar to addictive drugs. And so it's a wonderful strategy to swap out your sugar with protein-rich snacks to balance neurotransmitters and reduce your cravings. Okay, so kind of the antidote to sugar is more protein, more healthy fats. Number 2, blood sugar roller coaster. It happens, of course, when you're consuming a lot of sugar. So high sugar intake spikes your blood glucose, followed by crashes, which drives the cycle of craving more. I need more. I need more. I need more energy to keep going. So when you eat balanced meals that are heavy in protein, heavy in healthy fats, and also fiber, there's a lot of dogma around diets and like carnivore diet. It's like only eat meat and salt or whatever. You need fiber. You need fiber in your diet. So, low glycemic fruits like berries and whatnot, greens, they're all wonderful things to add into your diet, not just, meat. Eating balanced meals with protein, healthy fat, and fiber slows absorption and stabilizes your energy, right? When you're just eating high carbohydrate, it goes in, and then I think that's why people say, think about all the carbohydrates in Chinese food. And everyone is always like, they eat Chinese food and then they're hungry real quick afterwards. That's kind of the thinking around Chinese food. And I think that's because it's so high in carbohydrates, like lots of rice, lots of noodles. Yeah. It's not sustaining you. It's like putting tinder on a fire, right? It goes, it just big flame, and then it dies, right? It just burns away real fast. Whereas when you put protein on or heavy, like a good substantial side of a size of wood on a fire, and it's lit, it burns slowly over time. Right? It's kind of the same thing in terms of the food that you're putting in your body. Emotional comfort eating. Sugar activates that feel-good feeling in your brain, and it's often used as self-medication for stress, also anxiety, and even boredom, because it stimulates. So replace your sugar rituals, right? I know people that I deserve a donut. I've had such a stressful day. I deserve a donut. You deserve poor health? It's not a reward. It's a punishment. So replace your sugar rituals with soothing habits, take on teas. Teas is a great hobby. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I tend to collect a lot of different teas. And the reason why is because it's kind of it's kind of a ritual, you're boiling your water, you put it in a nice teapot. It's an experience. And you can get a lot of flavored teas too that are very great. They're very great for your health. And there's different flavors, and they can act as a replacement for sugar, especially after dinner or what have you. So also, think about what you could, instead of a sugar ritual, think about, deep breathing exercises. Think about, incorporating movement right after you eat as well. This can all be, a substitute, for emotional eating. Also, sugars hide everywhere. So they hide in a lot of condiments. I don't think people realize that, ketchup's really high in sugar, salad dressings, sauces, bread. Oh my goodness. There's often a lot of sugar in breads, and even healthy foods, that come in a package, like in a box, in a bag. Those foods are really easy to overconsume. And the reason why they're easy to overconsume is because they're nutrient bankrupt. There's no density there in the nutrients. They're that tinder again that you're just kind of throwing on top of the fire that just, it's gone. This lasts a few seconds. So read labels carefully and make sure that you're not, consuming stuff that you don't even know contains sugar. It also influences your gut microbiome. So certain gut bacteria, they thrive on sugar, and they are also increased. They increase your cravings and through chemical signaling. So yeah, you've heard me talk about gut health here till I'm blue in the face, and people like Gabe from Good Brew come on. There's so much entailed in your gut microbiome, from mood to inflammation, cravings, right? They can control the cravings that you're having. So support your gut health, of course. Good Brew is our preferred probiotic. And also, you can't beat nutrition, right? So make sure that you're getting some fermented foods into your diet, also leafy greens. This is a good one. Cultural and social norms, they really support consumption of sugar. Just think about it, like birthdays, holidays, social gatherings. It's all kind of based on this naughty consumption of sugar. Like, oh, in the break room, there's cookies. Or, oh, it's somebody's birthday, we do this big, cake. And listen, I'm not like an extremist. I'm not the type of person that's like, you should never have a piece of cake or whatever. But it's crept in too much into American society. It used to be, somebody would bake a cake for somebody's birthday. A birthday's once a year. We're consuming the sugar every day. Cakes, pastries, cookies, every day, multiple times a day. These were never meant for this type of consumption this often. These were meant to be used sparingly. And it's just, I guess it's gluttony, really. We're living in a society of gluttony. So, there's other ways to bring in celebration, bring healthier alternatives. Things like, fruits, nuts, even healthy chocolate, that doesn't contain all the sugar in it, but it's maybe sweetened with monk fruit or sweetened with stevia. You can reset the social script on this celebrating with sugar and, giving the people the gift of what? Poor health? Nothing infuriates me more to see like these nonprofits that are supposed to be for, finding a cure to cancer. And they've partnered up with pink donuts and more sugar, which we know is disruptive to metabolic health and causes inflammation and leads to disease. It's bizarre what we have accepted, Number 7 is nutrient deficiencies. So low levels of magnesium are tied to mass consumption of sugar. Chromium, even B vitamins can intensify cravings. So, you want to make sure that you're getting all of your vitamins. So if you're lacking B vitamins, which is interesting because people with the MTHFR gene mutation have a hard time absorbing B vitamins and they're prone to addiction. And that's the other thing that I want to bring into the big picture here is that sugar can be a substitute for drug addiction, for opiates specifically. Many recovering addicts report increased sugar consumption after quitting opioids. And this is sometimes called cross addiction, where you swap one substance for another substance because it's doing the same thing to your brain. And you're wired for that. So sugar provides temporary mood regulation, which can feel like a safer high, but it still keeps the brain in an addictive loop, and it's still leading you towards dis-ease in the body. People addicted to opioids often develop metabolic dysfunction as well. Sugar cravings may intensify as the body struggles to stabilize energy. Sugar itself increases tolerance in the brain's reward circuits. Same thing as drugs do, meaning more is needed to feel the same type of pleasure. Sugar's a drug. Bring awareness and make sure you're not addicted. Join us tonight for the weekly wellness workshop. This has been Naturally Inspired Radio.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio. Save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. Naturallyinspiredradio.com.